So a couple of months ago, we interviewed Greg Donlan, and we spoke at that particular time about how businesses can win work without being the cheapest. And we got a lot of feedback from you, so I've invited Greg back again today to talk to us a little further about a slightly different sort of form of that topic, and that is what responsibilities sales leaders have around providing the right tools for their sales force. So if you remember, Greg is the sales coach, and he's got some very practical sort of ground-based work that he does around sales, and I'm inviting him to speak with us again today. So let me start your clock again today on our Adrenalin Shot, Greg. You've got 5 minutes, and let's see what we can come up with here today. So take it away for us. What responsibilities do sales leaders actually have to provide the right tools, or some tools, for their sales force?
Thank you, Dawn. I'm delighted to be back.
Thank you.
Yes, I agree. Sales leaders have a responsibility, I believe, to provide their teams and individuals with a consistent approach and the tools to deliver that as a consistent approach. So my belief is that if I was to start at an organisation and say I'm chasing a new client, it would be good to be able to say, Greg, welcome aboard. Here's your run sheet. Here's your playlist. This is how we secure a new client. So, for instance, without giving intellectual property away, there's a business in Brisbane that has a multiple-page, step-by-step guide to securing a new client. It says that we need to have potentially 5 meetings to secure a $500,000 piece of work.
Mm-hmm.
The first of those is the qualifying or the discovery meeting. The second meeting is the site visit or the scope. Then we deliver the proposal. Then we take our engineers out to site, our installation manager out to site. Then we do a logistics discussion. All of those steps actually keep the momentum of the process rolling. If the sales leaders don't teach that or have that, I guess, template for their teams to follow, they just tend to run their own race. And what you end up with is typically someone runs out, gets an inquiry, qualifies it, delivers a proposal or a quote, and then they follow it up, they annoy the client, and then they give up. A good process actually has steps after the proposal in it. And importantly, without going back to that, it's important that there's an agenda. So a flow for each meeting to say, these are the key 5 things that you talk about in this meeting. This is the structure of the meeting. These are the people that you invite. The sales people won't do that themselves. The sales leader should give them a template to send out via email the day before to set the agenda. Tell the client, looking forward to meeting with you tomorrow. Typically what we discuss in these initial meetings is bang, 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 5 bullet points. Give them the template. They can send it every time. It works brilliantly. Things like flowcharts of how your customer service process works, how your delivery system works, how your ordering process works. If you provide that flowchart as a tool for your salesperson, they can go out and they've got something to talk about and they can explain it, and you'll ensure those things get discussed. If you want to introduce other staff, which is a powerful tool to take the focus off price, because people get to feel, make a video with your customer service manager explaining, here's my team, here's the process we go through, make it once, they put it into an email template and send it across afterwards. Create some little tips. So if you're in public bathrooms, for instance, send out a tip on how to minimise vandalism on public furniture. You send that out and it says, oh, these guys don't just know a little bit about the bathrooms that they're selling, so they understand the whole broader industry. You make those videos, those PDFs, those tip sheets, those insights, you make them once and you give them to the sales team to say, here's our system, keep running it, you get a consistent approach. And that, Dawn, is what I think sales leaders need to do. They need to develop that process, and I talked about that last time, but down to some practical detail levels, and then they need to say, here's some tools. There's a flowchart to talk about when you're doing this. Here's how you describe, here's some homework activities to get the customer engaged. Get them to send a photo of this back. Get them to send their organisational chart back. The sales leader, I think, has to come up with that, because this, unfortunately, the sales team won't do it themselves.
Well, and not only that, it occurs to me that, they won't do it themselves, but they'll also have a very inconsistent approach if there isn't that kind of template or that process in place. Would you agree?
I agree. And the key thing that I find sales managers see is saying, I've got this fantastic sales lady up in Brisbane. Gee, I wish I could get the rest of the team to perform like that. Yeah. And if you lose that sales performer in Brisbane, the danger is that sales stop. The trick is to get a best the system, have it consistent, pick the eyes out of what your best performers are doing, put it into a best practice system, and then get them to deliver it consistently.
Yeah.
Have the same game plan. And then the more, you're still got to have people's individual flair because people buy from people. However, if they've got consistent tools to complement that process, it's amazing how consistent the approach can be, and you'll find that the results consistently increase.
Yeah. And of course, you can obviously pick the brains of the best salespeople in your team to improve those systems so that everyone's using best practice, if you like.
Of course you do. And I've seen so many sessions, workshops were run where somebody from South Australia talks to the person in Auckland and says, oh, I'm doing it this way. And the person in Auckland goes, well, I'm going to try that. And if you get that sort of sharing of information, wow, you can put together a really powerful best practice system.
Thank you. And you heard your 5-minute ding there. So you've done extremely well to pack all of that in your 5 minutes and really, really practical advice that, I know people can take away and go and do something with. So thank you once again for joining us on An Adrenaline Shot, Greg Donlan.
Fantastic. Thanks, Don.
Thank you.